Hey, ladies and gents, back with the review in the P-36C. Bot messages me in Discord and goes, "Hey, you got the P-36C, is it any good?" And I said, "No." And then he says, "Oh, you should do a review." And I said, I already have enough premium planes. So I broke out the Easter egg money that I got, some birthday money, and I'm like, "Oh, fuck it, I'll buy it." So I bought it, played a couple games into it, and now I'll do a review on it. So this one's for you, bot. P-36. Well, it was designed in 1934. This was the kind of the starting age of the contemporaries at the time, BF-109, Hawker Hurricane, the Zero, the whole monoplane, all steel, all metal construction aircraft. This was the beginning of that period, and this was one of the first ones for the United States Air Force. Started being produced in 1934, not produced, built in 1934. The prototype flew in May of 1935, and it was entered into a competition at the end of May of 1935, and it was flying against the P-35. This, of course, P-36. It flew against the P-35. I don't know about the numbering system, but that's what they did. So in the fly-off between these two aircraft, the P-35, the P-36 ended up losing to the P-35. However, the P-35 had a lot of issues, engine problems, all kind of stuff, and the U.S. Army Air Force at the time said, "You know what? We need a backup plane because we're looking at the turmoil and the political unrest that's going on in Europe, and we're not sure that the P-35 is going to be able to be produced. So we need the P-36 just in case." So it went into production. They built right around 1,000 of these aircraft. However, like I said, by 1938, this aircraft was already considered obsolete compared to everything else in the world. Of course, BF-109s, Spitfires, and everything were coming into their own. So it was never really, it was literally within 3 years of its start of its production, it was already obsolete. However, they did produce 1,000 of them, and the United States never used it as an actual combat aircraft, except for one time. This plane actually fought at Pearl Harbor. They were able to, I do believe, get 2 of them off the ground. Maybe it was 3 of them they got off the ground, and they shot down 2 Zeros for the loss of 1 P-36. And that's the entire combat history of this plane for the United States Air Force. Otherwise, it was used as trainers, and most of these planes actually never went to the U.S. Army Air Force. They were exported to everybody. The Netherlands, France, India, China, Iran, Argentina. They were used all over the world. I mean, these were essentially second-rate fighters that they couldn't really send to these places, but they still needed to send planes, for defense and whatnot. So these were the planes that they used, right? These are the planes that were sent to places that frontline fighters weren't going to be needed, but they still needed the military presence there. So these planes were what they used, with 1,000 of them, and essentially sending them to these, far-off places. Peru ended up with like 20 of them through a Lend-Lease program, that kind of thing. However, it's interesting to note the United States never used this airplane other than the one time at Pearl Harbor in air combat. It was used quite frequently in the Battle of France. France took a large number of these aircraft, or bought a large number of these aircraft, and surprisingly enough, they performed extremely well. In 1940, they shot down 230 German fighters with a loss of only 26 P-36s. Pretty amazing, right? I mean, these are BF-109s and whatnot. Because of the way it was built, with the large wing loading that it had very, very good maneuverability and a very good roll rate. It did not perform well at altitude because of lack of a supercharger. Below 3,000 meters, it did quite well. As long as it didn't get into, of course, a vertical fight with a BF-109, it handled itself quite well. After the Battle of France, obviously Germany invaded France, took over France. A bunch of these planes were actually transferred to Finland, who was Germany's allies. So they did fly under the one of the Axis powers allies. Excuse me. So yeah, it was on both sides of the war. I mean, it flew for the Axis and it flew for the Allies. It was, for the most part, like I said, transferred all over the world. India, China, yeah, used extensively by a lot of these different air forces. The RAF took delivery of like 230 of them after the fall of France. They, for the most part, it was actually superior to the Spitfire in every way except for speed and altitude. So yeah, it could deal with the early models of the Spitfire. Yeah, so kind of a workhorse, really, I guess you would call it. I mean, it was never really considered a frontline aircraft, but it did serve quite well across the globe in a secondary position. So, what do we get in game? What is the difference between a P-36C and a P-36? Well, it just comes down to essentially this one turns a little bit. Yeah, the maneuverability is not as good as the P-36, and it has a crappier gun armament. We got a gun armament of 9, and this one's got 5. Same way with maneuverability. This is a little bit less than compared to the P-36. So what do we get up here in the game? Well, we get one 7.62, 112.7 millimeter 50 cal, and two 7.62s, compared to the regular P-36, which gets two 50 cals and four 7.62s. So it's undergunned compared to the in-game P-36. Other than that, it's pretty much the exact same thing. Yeah, it's a Ma plane. If you like the American line and you like the P-36, you're probably gonna like this plane. Then I could give it a 1 thumbs up. If you don't like that kind of play style, it's just meh. It's not a bad plane by no means. It gets the job done. It gets 100,000 credits for about an 8,000 combat score. 8,000 combat points. Gets about 100K. Makes credits just like every other Tier 4. Yeah. Better than the Model 81A1, I'll tell you right now. Fucking way better. But considering the fact that the P-40 is a direct descendant of the P-36, I guess there's something to be said about that. What I'm flying with this, I just took the pilot that they gave me, which was 100% pilot. I put the Marksman 1 on it. Running improved reflector sight, engine tuning, and I threw in the control surface adjustment just to see if I could make it turn just a little bit better. But the altitude performance is pretty good at 45 at Tier 4. There's not a lot of things you can't deal with, bombers and whatnot. You're going to see in the video what I'm talking about. Like I said, it's just meh. It's not a 1 up. It's not a 1 down. Yeah, it's a P-36 with a lighter armament. So if you like that kind of plane, you're going to like this plane. It makes credits at Tier 4 just like every other Tier 4. So yeah, that's about all I can tell you. Use your altitude, use your speed. You have advantages over most of the aircraft at this tier with those two things. So yeah, it does it pretty well. So I'm going to bring up the gameplay for you guys to check out to see what this thing can do. Alright, back with the first game in the P-36, and it's a 5 objective map. We have the garrison here, the center airfields, and of course the mining plants. So, put some altitude up, good altitude performance at this tier 4, with a 45 roughly. You're gonna be kind of lording yourself over most of the planes that you run into. Of course, the only other real plane that's going to be a threat at this tier for you at altitude will be the BF 109. Other than that, most of the other planes will struggle to get to your altitude. Unless, of course, you're going to do a Tier 5, but for 4 and down, you're really not going to have a problem with it. So picking it up here with the three 7.62s and the 50. It takes a little while to, of course, heat these guns up. Pick up the first kill, and I'm going to drop it in here on the HE-51. See if I can finish him off. About 500 meters is about the farthest out you're going to start getting some reliable hits. yeah, so you want to be relatively close with this plane as you can. So I'm off to the mining facility. I really want to stop them from taking the mining facility. That's always kind of key here. So out we go. We got kind of looking at the BF-109C6. I was kind of curious if he's going to make a pass at me, but my more important target here, of course, is to kill the mining facility or stop it. So I'd pick up the DO-17Z. They don't have a whole lot on this, but then all of a sudden, wham! They did get a big bunch here, and I pick up the DO-17Z. He's almost dead, 161 hit points. If I can knock him out and try to flip the objective back, yeah, this is what I was thinking here. So I on him, almost get him. Oh, just as I kill him, they flip the fucking plant, and now yeah. So I got a bomber up here, yeah, the DO-17Z, and of course the GA down below. However, we flipped the mining facility as well, so not too bad. We're sitting about even, and we're just slightly ahead. So I flip over here on the DO-17Z here. I'm going to put a bunch of shells into him before he gets away. Yeah, you get about 400 meters. This is when these shells become a little bit harder to hit anything. You can of course see that I'm slowing down on the number of hits I'm getting on it. Then after 500 meters, it's pretty much So I doze down a little bit here. I'm going to see if I can pick up some speed and catch him. I really want to make sure he does not get in over on top of my airbase or on my garrison. Like I said, we are sitting with a slight advantage. Yeah, let's see if I can pick it up here. About that time, I realized I'm never going to be able to really get on him without taking too much damage here. So screw it. I'm going to see if I can at least got him down to about 100, and hopefully the AA is going to finish him off. Yeah, so we're going to pick that off, drop down here, pick up the LBSH, and of course I still get pummeled from the rear gunner. Yay! Pick up the LBSH down below here. He is actually a human player who apparently likes to play GAs a lot. Come in on him. Let's see if we can knock him out here before he flips this garrison. He's the one that did the number on the mining facility. So pick him up. He's at about 187 here. See if we can knock him out. He's trying to drop bombs everywhere. Yeah, we're going to get him here, and we're going to flip this hopefully back to somewhat reasonable. Pick him off. Garrison's no longer in danger here, so now I'm going to head to center and start trying to pick up the center garrison. They've, of course, by now had picked up. They had jumped ahead of us with that extra mining facility, and the extra garrison. Back into the center here, and I need to flip this relatively quick. So I'm picking up some of the targets that I'm going to consider my biggest threats, which of course are the two A6M1 human pilots. There's the first A6M1. He's too busy trying to shoot down the AR-197. So I'm just going to kind of creep in on here and start slowing down a little bit here and to try to keep him out ahead of me so I can keep my gun on him. Finally get him, pick him up, turn the objective. We're down already to halfway there, and now it's time to pick up some of these defense fighters as quick as possible. Pick up the HE-51, and now I got F2A here. Oh yeah, Dan, we got you, Dan. Nail him, flip the objective here, and now I'm getting wrecked by the A6M1 that had just spawned as we were finishing off the F2. So, it's alright. We have the three objectives now. We have the center objective here, so now I'm coming back in here, and that's when I noticed the two GAs down on the south on the mining facility. So, I turn, and I'm off. This plane is relatively fast for its tier. Use your speed, use that decent amount of climb rates. And it's not terribly maneuverable, but it's not bad. You can definitely make it work. So, on the move to the mining facility, see if we can pick up the LBSH. Both of them are here, the human player and the bot. So I'm going to try to knock out the human player as quick as possible. They've already got the mining facility almost dead. So we're going to have to see if we can do this quickly. We pick up the fourth objective, but this one right here is the most important. We got to hold on to this mining facility. So after the LBSH, he's out on the edge, and I'm hoping if I can just finish him off, but nope, the fucking bot turns the objective. And now I have no way really of making this work. All I can do is finish him off, and hopefully I'll finish this this bot off as well. And then I'm gonna have to, I have no real chance here in a light fighter to do much to these mining facilities, and we need both of them. So on the LBSH, and then about that time I realized, son of a bitch, the bot had kind of flown over a little bit too far in my direction, and I was not paying attention, and I run right into him. So pick up the LBSH. Now I got to get out of here, out of the flak, not lose any more health. Hopefully start to rebuild some of this before I get back to center. Drop down, and you know what? Screw it. Squall lines up. We still own the airfield in the middle, so I'll be coming back into the center objective. We are up 658 to 619, but the problem is it's not really going to matter because both of their mining facilities are going to go off 10 seconds apart. So the best I can do, and of course right now I have two GAs and a multi-role trying to take that other objective here. So I'm actually going to start out a little bit quicker here, being that I get to spawn here in center, and I'm going to have to start heading toward that objective. Hindsight, maybe wouldn't have been a good idea to crash, but I had such low health, and I don't think I would have made it across here anyway in enough time to make a difference here at this mining facility. So I'm heading back here. They flip one, and 8 seconds more, and they're going to flip the other one. And that is game. Yay, right? Yeah, that's the game right there. Good game, fellas, and do what I can do. Alright, fellas, back with the second game in the P-36. Now, in the first video, I showed you with its altitude performance and its speed and stuff, you can move around the map fairly well. And this is one of those aircraft because of its altitude performance at this tier, you can be quite effective at taking objectives by yourself. So boost up here, get about 1,300 meters, heading toward the military base here. I do have a little bit of help, and we're playing on the only night map in the game, which is reserved essentially for the low tier. So pull in here. We got the AO-192s up here. This thing does well at hunting heavy fighters. There's not a lot of them that can get away from you, and of course there's not a lot of them that can outturn you. So we'll pick up the first AO-192 coming up through here. Start putting some shells into them. I mean, the really only big complaint I have about this aircraft, of course, is that it is undergunned compared to the P-36. Other than that, it works just fine. Pick up the AO-192 coming through here. Let's see if I can finish him off here. We got the objective, and now I got the DO-17Z up tall. He's higher than I am. Fuck. Pick up the DO-17Z. For most of the bot bombers, you can do quite well with this plane against bot bombers. Human bombers, probably not quite so well, but this one works pretty decent here. That's about the time I know the F2A comes through here. We do a little bit of trading paint. Now my wing's damaged. In the background we come. Let's see if I can knock out Dan here quick. Miss him on that pass. And my wings are all shot to shit. I got my flaps extended. And around we come. Let's see if we can pick up Dan. Dan is turning like a madman. Now my wing is operational. There we go. Come back around. Get the flaps up. Yeah. There we go. Finally got around enough on him. Now we're going to boost a little bit here. Try to pick him up as we come back around for the second pass. Put some more shells into him. Yep, now Dan's going to dive for the deck. And I almost, just missed him. About that time, here comes the II-17 and the rest of the Red Horde. And there's not a whole hell of a lot I can do. I just wanted to make sure he was a human, but he was, and he's flying the I-17. So, that's going to be interesting. I-17 is extremely maneuverable at this tier. So, yeah. So they pick up the garrison and the military base, And yeah, this is not going to be looking very well for the blue team. The baddies are everywhere. They've won everything. And this is where this plane really comes in handy. And this is the P-36 in general. The C does it just as well, except for its premium, of course. So, start boosting. We're looking for that 1,800, 2,000 meter range right here. Up we go, pick up the P-36 coming through. I'm not going to dive on him because that's not what I'm doing here. I need the objective back. I can't go chase random planes. So up we go, boost up a little bit more, just nose up, keeps its speed up pretty nice. There's my 2,000 meters. Now at this altitude, I don't have anything to worry about other than those, another P-36 or a P-40 or something along those lines. Now I'm up here and I can start picking off these heavy fighters. I'm above them. They're going to come up around behind me, and now, yeah, there they are. I love it when they start to stall out. Pull down, pick up the AO-192, start putting some shells into him. I don't drop down much below 1,500 meters. Got my full boost already rebuilt, so now it's just a matter of boosting up, back up again. Pull back over on the other AO-192, see if we can put some hurt on him. Up we go. Oh, can't quite get him. About that time, here comes Dan. Dan's back. Hi, Dan. So he gets on my tail, puts a pretty nice burst into him, and around we come. Oh, let's see here. But I got the edge on him. I got my flaps extended. My engine is kind of working. I don't remember what the F2A's altitude performance is, but I don't know if it's as good as this one. So he's kind of stalling out a little bit here. Pull back around, and he becomes, once again, more interested in something other than me. Flip it, finally. So flip this objective back here. Got my altitude still up around 1,600 plus. We're gonna see if we can pick up Rexy, sexy Rexy. He is currently making a run for it, so I'm not even gonna try. So hopefully, I get this part of the video is at least show you at least a little bit of what this thing's capable of. With its altitude performance and its speed, relatively easy to take objectives with it. But it's a P-36. That's what the P-36 can do. So if you're interested in it as a premium plane, because it's a P-36, or that you're in the American line, and it does a pretty nice job of chaining crews, by all means pick it up. But for the most part, it's a meh plane. There's nothing wrong with it. It does its job just fine, but there's nothing outstanding about the plane in general. So hope you guys enjoyed the videos, and I will be seeing you guys tomorrow night and see if we can get some tank videos up. So you guys have a good night, and I'll see if I can kill Dan one more time. Fuck, I didn't do it. So you guys have a good night.